everyone, Sifu Jay here, Artist of Truth. Hanging out on the land as always. Been making some Shay Wise videos, and I haven't made an Artist of Truth official video lately. It's a wonderful day. Those of you that follow me in several facets online have probably seen some of my posting. Doing some recording with the old acoustic guitar, playing some music. As always, I'm out here on the land of my father, awaiting the circumstance with him. He seems to constantly defy logic as far as hanging on. And several other things going on in life. Won't get snagged into that right at the moment. Happy to be alive, happy to be outside. I will be releasing some new music coming up. Got some big announcements for Shay Wise. New Year's Eve thing going on. And just out here underneath the beautiful blue sky. Feeling the wind, contemplating life. If anyone watched those last videos, those Shay Wise videos, for those of you on here, I may upload them for Artist of Truth as well, because there's a little philosophy always in my music. Over the years that I've been writing, even when I was really small, or smaller, when I was a younger man, all the years that I've been writing music or writing anything, there's always been this element of poetic philosophy intertwined, I guess. And I try, when I'm going through something in my life, to express it outwardly into the music or into my martial art or into these videos, the philosophy for Artist of Truth. And I think that the message of some of those songs would really do well with some people that follow me here on Artist of Truth. Because we're all going through change, all these things are happening in our lives. Awaiting death, relationship issues, non-issues, health, all of these things. You live long enough, you see things falling away, new things are coming in, and when we attach ourselves to one circumstance, or especially to things and memories and moments, if we're overly attached, then we suffer. And I too have suffered greatly. Sometimes we can choose to take the burden of things upon ourselves in order to limit the suffering of others, and I think that I've done that, and I've done it a little too much. One of my teachers would scold me occasionally and say that you have to be careful, you have to be mindful. You don't actually have the power to change anyone. You can inspire them to change, but you can't allow them to drag you down completely. The weight of their suffering, burdening yourself. So there has to be a limit. I'm not sure where my limit lies, but I think I'm approaching it. I wish you could see the sky. Maybe you can there behind me a little, with the giant oak tree that's been here since well before I was alive in this field, that my grandfather, my father, my great-grandfather all cleaned all of this up with non-modern equipment. And my great-grandfather and grandfather used mules and different things to pull stumps out of the ground, cutting everything down. It's crazy how life changes. It's an interesting thing. So we have to keep our minds open, always flowing with the positive circumstances as best we can. We do find ourselves, and I found myself recently in a struggle with my own mind. Fortunately, the light of the blue sky fell upon me. And if not, then Sifu Jay, the Artist of Truth, the seemingly always happy philosopher, may not have been so happy. Well, what you won't catch because of the edit on this video is I was in the middle of speaking. Maybe I'll leave a piece of it in for someone particular. and my phone rang right as I was talking about the light of the blue sky. Wow, falling upon me. As I look up, like in everything in life, this beautiful, beautiful array of clouds. I was just talking to someone a moment ago about clouds in this direction. The sky is so blue today. And behind me you just see the base of the blue. But over here, the way the clouds, it's just like an amazing sky blue canvas, but the way, the thinness, and as if you kind of just pulled away cotton until it stretched itself very thin, spread itself out almost like wings over into this area. And then the magic of technology, airplane flying over, squirrel moment. I didn't mean to get distracted, but as I looked up and the sun is shining upon me and the color of the leaves from fall, changing with all of these trees out here, still maintaining most of their foliage, their leaves and such, but the colors against the sky with the sunlight, it's just amazing. It reminds me of what I was actually saying, that as the mind gets burdened and I myself start to feel sad, and just recently I was in this deep struggle. My family is extremely important to my children, and my middle son's birthday was yesterday, and it was a difficult day for me for multiple reasons. It's a kind of a sneaky open secret, some of the things that are going on in my life, but I never talk about it. These videos that I make, even though I speak of myself, I do it only as a reference, because all of you, if I'm unique at all, it's only maybe in some of my thinking, and I'm sure that maybe that is not even unique. But we're all the same. We all suffer. If someone is experiencing an issue with, a pain somewhere, then someone else is experiencing the issue with pain. If someone dies, someone else has lost someone. So I speak in that reference just to highlight it, because I only know my own life. But I know that we're all the same essentially, so everyone's lives are important. Even the people that we perceive of as bad people, their lives are important. It's their minds that are messed up. It's why we all do things that we would otherwise not do. So as I approach my son's birthday, I still won't go into detail about some of the private circumstances in my life. It was a difficult day. I love my children very much. Gave up a lot of things in life in order to be with them. And, sacrificing money and time and sleep and all of these things, because when will you ever get back those moments? When they're just little things, little small things, just looking at you. If I was to say, well, I have another 10,000 shows this year, so you stay here and I'll be on the road, it can cause damage. So I tried to redirect myself and all my friends, and I mentioned it in the Shaywaz video, that family and friends and brothers and sisters and all the people that struggle in life, that go on the road and work and do construction. I reference brothers and sisters as all of you. When you do construction, you travel your way from home. The people that have to leave their home just to go down the street. We never know what is in the content of another's mind, the suffering they may feel, the loneliness. So when I speak of myself, I'm only doing it to say, I too suffer. I too feel sad. Although I'm a teacher, philosopher, I've been classically trained and spent years of my life with different teachers, I'm no better than anyone else. We all have different talents. Some people are very good painters, some people are not. I play music, some people don't. I've met a lot of better musicians than myself, and I learn and I listen. We all have different things in our lives going on. So we can relate to each other, we can give of ourselves, and we can try to help each other. We can help change each other's minds. And if we can change each other's minds, we can change each other's lives. And if everyone is changing, then society changes. You know, it sounds like a kumbaya kind of thing, but it is the truth. It is the truth. The only way to change your life is to change your mind, to change the way you're thinking. Through all of the years of meditating and doing all that stuff, and I've said this before in the videos, I started to feel like, man, I think I'm enlightened somehow. I'm glimpsing it, and I've had glimpses of those moments of just total release. And I mean, in everything that you're doing, not in like a meditation moment, in your life, period. I've experienced it. And I began to feel like nothing could make me fight again. Nothing could make me yell again. I was very wrong. I was very wrong. And my teachers would say it constantly. Right when you think you're enlightened, someone will show you that you're not. He made a slightly different reference talking about marriage or relationships, which is very true. If you have family members and you feel like you're enlightened, just go around them for a little while. And I'm not saying they're the problem. We may be the problem ourselves, not perceiving it. I simply mean that we all have the potential to change and to feel that weight lifted off. One breath at a time. Just for those moments of peace. In our daily lives, when we're driving. For those of you, like I mentioned, that work construction, when you're out there on the side of the road, I see these guys that stand out in the middle of summer on the side of the road when it's like your eyeballs are being sucked out of your head from the radiation of the sun. And these guys are just on the side of the road for hours holding a sign. I heard someone say once, wish I had that job. That's the easiest job in the world. Not me. Not me. I get to play guitar and sing and do all of these things. And it's difficult and there's a lot of time in it. But I would never take for granted that this guy standing out in full-on long sleeves because he doesn't want to burn himself to death in the sunlight is standing there. You don't know what's in his mind. He may be the happiest person in the world, though. He's there. He goes and he does his job. He goes home to his family. He's able to support them. They come in. They have toys for Christmas. They play. Whatever's important. Whatever it is that at least is an essential part of that feeling of happiness. I only mean to illustrate that the content of thinking can change from one moment to the next. And if we can try as best we can to direct our thinking in good ways, we'll become better at it. We become better liars if we lie all the time. We're better at hurting people if we continue to hurt people. So, just as those are skills that we don't perceive of as that way, happiness is a skill. I say this after confessing that I've been deeply sad and I've had all of these moments, but it's a fleeting moment. Everything changes, everything passes away. Just as it was raining a moment ago, the sun is shining now. I remember as a child saying to my father and my grandfather, I'm not sure which one now as I'm telling the story replied, but I'm fairly certain it was my grandfather. It was raining and I wanted to play outside. Like I imagine right now as I'm saying this to you, I see the faces of my children spinning and twirling in the rain. And I wanted to play outside. I said, I hate the rain. I hate the rain. I wish it would never rain again. I remember clearly. Of course, coming from a family of farmers, natives and such, pretty sure it was my grandfather. He says, son, we need the rain, because after the rain, everything grows. It's a simple statement, and I don't think he meant it in any philosophical way. Maybe he did. You know, when I'm 4, I didn't perceive of it in that way. But it is true. After the rain, everything grows. When the rain is coming down, sometimes it's hard to realize that at some moment we will see the sun again, we'll see the sky. But we do. I am grateful for the blue sky, for the light on my face, friendship in my life, the kindness of others, people that have reached out to me to help the guy whose sole purpose in life is to help others. At least that's the way that I feel. But it seems like these videos and all of you have been you've been teaching me more than I have been teaching you. I've come out here, I've cried with you, standing just over this way, after 20 takes of a video where every single time I couldn't get past one moment. Laughed with you, been silly, all of these things. Every single thing, every moment matters. Every moment is precious. I share these videos in order to try to teach. There were a lot in the beginning about diet and nutrition, and then I was getting so many requests for more of the philosophy that I would go into while I was doing those videos about juicing and fasting and so on and so forth. So I kind of went more in that direction. Philosophy, or the idea of thinking and contemplating, not the mechanical Western idea of philosophy as being like a structured craft that you just pose a question and then just philosophically analyze it in this mathematical way. Not that. In a more of a spiritual, uplifting process, a living experience, philosophy. We lose the magic of our lives through the analytical mind. In some ways we can. I definitely sometimes have to stop obsessing, overanalyzing, doing things, all of that, but I train myself constantly, repeating. And I still slip and still fall into these things. But I'm out quicker than those that don't train. But even some of you that may never train, some of the messages that I've gotten from you after a video where I was talking about the struggle and I thought I was going to die, and there were other things that were going on in which I really felt like I was unsure. Should I post this? Should I say this? The video, AKA the artist of truth. Why not tell the truth? Get it out of my soul and experience out into the world. And the messages that I received from some of you blew my mind. The kindness. The things that were written were just amazing. I have students of mine that train with me in Kung Fu and Wing Chun and the philosophy that I'm always trying to teach or to guide someone and allow them to have their own experiences. My students, I have two particular students, very good friend, brothers basically of mine, down in Charleston. David Richter and Camden Bowman. And Dave and Cam both have been training with me for a while, and they help me more than I believe that they realize. Of course, I have other students and friends and family. I'm just referencing them at this moment. Just having someone to bounce these ideas off of. And up until recently, when things are going bad in your life, even for the philosopher, you start to feel like, well, you think back at how many times that's happening. Although we don't pause to recognize all of the moments in between where the good things are there. But when the bad stuff happens, we look back over our whole life and we make statements to people like, this always happens to me. Yep. I knew it was going to happen because it's me. We say stuff like that. No, how many more moments between, how many hours of stuff that wasn't going on? Because we direct our attention into that negative thing and we hold on to it, that's all we see. And we see it in every year of our life, through the past, as we wander through the annals of our minds, thinking about the years of our lives. But all that matters is now. If we do what we should do now. My Sifu, my teacher in Atlanta, Sifu Francis Fong, has said this to me many times. Do what must be done now, and the future takes care of itself. You can't do a thing about the future, except by doing it now. It's the only moment you'll ever experience, right now. As I'm making this video, in a moment, you'll be watching it, and I'll be somewhere else, but I'll still experience it only in that moment. And as I take the steps and do the things that I should to change, the future is guided like that, cutting away through the land like a river. I've said before, sometimes I'm the wind, Sometimes I'm a leaf on the wind. Better to be the wind, directing the leaf. Well, I don't know what I was trying to say today. There are a lot of things going on inside. A lot of things happening in life. But I'm outside. And a moment ago I was inside with my father, my mother. It's easy to be trapped as if life is right there in that moment. It's only, I'm here, but I can't be here because my mind is there. If you understand, it's okay to think about people and things, but I hope that you understand. We have to be where we find ourselves. If we don't like what we see, then we just, in that moment, we have to make decisions. And those decisions, every step along the way, guide our lives in the direction they go. The fault is ours. It always has been. So, smile, be happy. Do the best you can to change. Thank all of you for helping me to change. For keeping me on course when I felt like I was drifting into a place that I hadn't seen in many, many years. And then suddenly the sky. When I needed it most. So, kiss your family, hug your loved ones. Play tic-tac-toe, do whatever it is that you do that makes you feel good. But do something. Let's do something together to change the world. As always, love everyone. Talk with you soon.